we'll start with the light brown, the raw sienna first. And I'm gonna, again, we're gonna use the green brush. We're just gonna start right on the top of the eyebrow. You can turn it. I feel like if you turn it this way, you tend to get a little bit of more of a natural shape. So it's a little bit easier to follow that when you can pull it down. Now, I'm not going to do all of the hair on him. I'm just going to do a few bristles. I'm not going to do the whole back or anything crazy like that. Just going to follow it all the way down, just like that. I'm going to come back. We'll add some more. We'll add a couple more layers here. Kind of make them long bristles. I'll get it on that. Probably just do a couple, maybe 3 rows of this color. This way, fill in these spots here. Okay, do the same thing here. Always want to start straight up on the inside of the brow. And then start pulling to the left, on the left side. Go all the way down. Okay, and come back and put a second layer of hair here. And if I at any time get out of the screen, please just let me know. Because I don't look at the monitor while I'm painting, I'm looking at the screen, so. I mean, I'm looking at the piece, not the screen, sorry. Okay, just like that. That's pretty good, I think. Probably 2 layers of that, maybe a couple up here. I want to make him pretty bushy in the middle of his forehead here. Okay. So then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do the same thing around the eyes. Start here. Just work our way out. Just follow that shadow that we've already laid down. We've already done the hard work. We just want to follow that shadow around his eye. Think about how the hair would be growing here, right? It's going to meet here. It's going to start to pull in here. I want to connect it here. Okay, just going to keep following it around the eye. I'm going to start here and we'll meet up around. We'll come down the face here. Okay. Let's go back and do a couple more. Thicken this up a little bit. And work pretty quick. They can be all different sizes of hairs. It doesn't have to be super fine like we did on those other ones because this is a pretty big piece. So we can afford to add some bigger hair strokes on this guy. Okay, I'm gonna come over here, do the same thing on this eye. Start out in the corner. Okay. And follow it all the way down around his eye here. Here, put our hair in this corner. Come out this way. The paint's starting to get thick, so I'm gonna have to add some water to it. Go back into that brown. Make some more hair going this way here. And we're going to come down here on the bottom of his lip here and do the same thing. I'm going to just come down this way with his whiskers. Make them longer, long ones, short ones. Do some different lengths here. I want it to be pretty bushy, I think. All right, I'm going to add a couple more dark ones here. All right, once you get all those colors laid down, now again, I'm not going to do like the back. I'm just really doing around his face is all. So if you want to do the back, you can totally come down much farther with it if you want to come all the way down to the bottom. But I didn't really want to spend, hours upon hours doing this all over the whole thing. So I just was going to do it around his face because I feel like that's probably enough. You get the idea that he's a werewolf, right? So then, okay, so we've got our light brown on there. So now I'm going to pick up the bittersweet chocolate, which is the color we base coated with. And we're just going to do the exact same thing that we just did with this other color. Now this is going to be really not very noticeable because we base coated it with, but we need some contrast in here. So do quick sweeps, quick sweeping motions, don't spend a lot of time because we want them to blend in with the lighter brown that we put down already. Now I'm not going to put a whole lot of this brown in because, like I said, it's not really super noticeable, but I do need some contrast in here. So you may not even be able to see it really well. All the way around the eye. Now, this is where you'll be able to see a little bit of the darkness is down on some of these lighter spots. Can come out pretty far around the eyes here with the dark brown, because the light brown really is only going to be right around the eyes, right? Like right around where we've got that natural shadow. So the farther we come out with the darkness, it's just going to add more dimension. And just really just make that circle. You can come all the way down here with it. And just kind of like, they could just come to an end here. Unless you want to come all the way around, like I said, but I think just around here is going to be fine. Okay. Do this side. It's getting pretty hairy on that one side. Holy cow. Pretty scary. I think I might want to throw some light buttermilk in here. If you guys should have light buttermilk if you've taken any of my classes before. I think this is the first class where I did not use light buttermilk. So let's see, how are we doing over here? It goes around pretty far. So we'll add a couple more hairs on this side. I'm up in this corner, I'll get up here. Okay, how far did we go down there? Pretty far. So I'm gonna come down quite a ways here on this side. See how they both match up. Let's try to get them close together as we can. Okay, I need quite a bit more in this corner. It's pretty big compared to the other side. I need some more light brown in there. Oops. It's an accident. Need a lot more light around here on this side. Doesn't really match with what I've got going on the other side, so. Okay. So we'll go down on the chin line. And then add our dark browns in here. Again, it's going to be pretty, you know, but not very noticeable, so. Okay. All right, I'm going to pick up some light buttermilk instead of white. I feel like for white right now is I'm going to do white very last. So we'll add white buttermilk on this part. Okay, and we're going to do the eyebrows. Because if this is a werewolf, he's all hairy, right? So I'm going to start here. We're just going to follow that natural shape. You might need to water your paint down a little bit just to get really thin lines, really thin paint lines here. These are going to be pretty fine lines, so work in pretty quick motions here. Follow it all the way down to fill in where we've already got our hairline here. It's going to come all the way down to here. Just going to meet up with that. We've already laid down. Go ahead and fill that in pretty well. It's supposed to be pretty thick eyebrows. Don't want to forget to do our brows here. Let's see, weird wonky thing happening here. Try to thicken that up some a little bit. Okay. Same thing on this side. Just follow that natural curve line we've already created. My gosh, this is looking so good, you guys. I'm so excited. See, this is so, I mean, this is really is so easy. Just quick little light strokes with this brush. Okay. Go ahead and add a couple more in here, really thick right here in the middle. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing around the eyes here. We'll start here on the inside. Just going to follow the shape. Come here and start on this side and just meet in the middle. Might want to come down a little bit in there a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing in this one. Go all the way down. Thank you. Okay. Our hair down there pretty well. This side. It's my brush. Getting thick here. When you're working with these kinds of doing really fine lines like hair and spider webs, you need to make sure that that acrylic paint dries so fast once it hits the air. So if you can, you know, you might have to water your paintbrush down or your paint a little bit to keep it thin enough to create these hairlines for you. It works so much better when it's thin. When it's thick, you end up with giant thick lines like I was getting there. So either water it down a little bit or keep your brush kind of damp. Okay. So we got around his eyes. Now let's see, we got to do around his lip. So we're gonna do the lip the same way we did the dark. Let's start on the top though. So we'll turn it upside down to do the top. We're basically just gonna do quick strokes like this. Quick strokes. Water your paint down. So you get those really thin lines. Okay. Let's flip up and do the other side. A little bit more water here. See, start from this way. Quick, really quick strokes. Go ahead and come all the way down. And we'll go ahead and pull into that hair. Just going to start pulling into that dark that we've got here. Just a little bit. I'm going to kind of add a little bit more in our dark line right here. So we lighten that up some. Okay. Now I'm going to take the same light buttermilk and I'm going to just add a few light spots. Actually, let me mix the light buttermilk to the raw sienna. That way we won't get such a, we'll have like a little bit of a lighter shade of brown without matching the white buttermilk we just laid down on those eyebrows. So I'm just mixing a little tiny bit of light buttermilk in with the raw sienna, and I'm just going to start adding some highlight lines in this dark here. Again, this is like, I want this to be super subtle, so I don't want it to be light buttermilk exactly, because I don't want to take away from the eyes we just did. But we need just a tiny little bit of contrast here with the browns. So we're just going to start adding some highlights. Really just random, like really make them, don't go for any kind of pattern here. Okay. Done on that one. We'll come up here, start on the top here, start adding our highlights. Now the lighter ones can come up off the top a little bit more because obviously that's where our light spot is. So I might come up just a little bit more on these white hairs on the very top. Can you guys see that okay, what I'm doing? Hopefully. Let's flip it around here. It might be a little bit easier for me to get this thing. And again, don't freak out about and color matching or any of that kind of stuff, because I'm just trying to put several different shades of white, I mean not white, browns and off whites in here. So it doesn't have to be, it's okay to mix. You don't have to stress if you're to be the exact shade. Because I do, in my classes, I do a lot of mixing. I try to keep things inexpensive for you guys. So if I can mix something of the similar colors without you having to buy the paints, then that's what I'm going to do. So your stuff, your colors are never going to look exactly like mine if we're doing any kind of paint mixing whatsoever. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. I wasn't sure how this was going to work out, but I'm so excited about how this is looking. Ah, I wish I come up pretty far with that hair in the middle, I think. Up in here. Ah, got too much paint on there. Shoot. Okay. Really, the key to doing hair, I'm telling you, is watering the paint down. It's just like doing eyelashes. If you use paint that's too thick, you're going to end up with big blobs and not really super fine lines. So more water here. Gun shy after I put my brush in the water after I dropped the big old water drop on there. Come on. Such a little brush, it's hard to mix this paint with this tiny little thing. Again, we're just following the natural shape of the eye and the face that we've already put down with the pastels. That's part of the reason why I love doing the pastels, because then you kind of know like where your stuff is going to be. You can shade and contour all the faces, and then you know exactly where your hair and stuff is going to go, because you've already done, you've already done most of the work here. So again, I'm just going to come down, make some long scraggly ones on his chin down here. So like in the middle of his chin here, I would come down pretty far with the hair, just right in the middle, and kind of make like a little goatee kind of thing here. Okay. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like if you want to add a few more white highlights in here, I mean the light buttermilk color that we've mixed. Well, I'm pretty happy with that though. I don't want to do like overkill. So I'm going to rinse my brush and now I'm going to pick up just some white on the golden. I'm going to use the golden high flow acrylic. Okay, I'm going to just pick up white and we're going to add highlights in the light buttermilk here. This white is going to make this light buttermilk really pop off of here. We definitely need some highlights in here. And if you wanted to, really, you could add like some raw sienna if you wanted some brown in his eyebrows. But I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think I want brown in mine. I want my eyebrows to really, and his face, I want the white, the drama from the white and this light buttermilk color to makes him look so scary, I feel like. Let's go ahead and add some here. And even on the top, just the tops, we're going to add just a little bit of white hair on this top because we need a highlight, right? Doesn't need to be a lot, and just kind of right on the top. Get this one here. I might maybe want to come in these cracks and grooves a little tiny bit. Now the white may not be noticeable to you, and it really isn't, but it shouldn't be. It should be really subtle. Okay, so we got white on our top. Let's go ahead and we need to fill in our white on the eyes. Oops, too thick of paint right there. That's what I get. Okay. A little bit on this side. Okay, just about done here. We can do the eyes. Okay, so let's go ahead, since we added a little bit on the top of the head on the white, let's just add a little tiny bit in here. Because this is a high spot. So we need to have some highlights on our high spot here. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and hit right here in this top corner with a little bit of white, because this is a high spot. Okay, same thing on this side. I'll just do the high spot. Okay, a little bit here. Okay, and then we also need some white highlight in here. So we're gonna come from the top. So we're gonna come from the top down with this hair. So we're just adding the highlight here and stopping midway so we don't blend into the light buttermilk. We'll just go ahead and take the highlight here and that'll be fine. Okay. Same thing on the top of the lip here. We're going to add white just on the top. We can add quite a bit of white here because this is going to be pretty bright right here. Oops, I kind of got in a crack there, but it'll be all right. Okay, so we need just a little bit more on the tops over here.